So all these pieces tie into the title of the exhibition, which is Unyielding. If you look at the word, it means something that is unbending, that doesn't give way. But I was looking more as the strength, as having an unyielding strength. This show does not only speak about my journey as an artist, growing up in Puerto Rico, going to New York, now finding myself here in Indianapolis, and how it needed to be a dedicated journey that has strength, but also my communities. I associate myself, I identify myself as Afro-Latino, so there's a lot of roots in my heritage. So I was speaking of the strength of my roots and the beauty often found in things that seem to be forgotten or neglected. And that's what you see with some of my work here. A lot of the resources that you see in this exhibition as far as materials were found. So it's stuff that I had at the studio, I've collected throughout the years. So in this piece that you're seeing behind me, one of the things that I do first and foremost is just lay some page books behind it. And from there I start building the layers. So I will either do some washes to kind of create some light colors, and then I'll continue pasting more pages and found magazines, and then I will rip them. So it starts adding some of the layers, but also the color in between the layers. As far as when you rip a page, that yields to a brighter color. The color that's being washed behind it will start showing up. There's also other items that I add to it. Like if you look at some of these pieces, it might look like a brush stroke, but it's actually a VHS tape that I've dipped into paint and then paint with it as far as how it falls and the flow of the work. Most works incorporate over 10 layers as I'm putting in and out. I'm also working with large typography, which is something that, being a former graphic designer, I still tie in with how direct type is and with the message. This piece, rouge, which is the large type you see behind it, it means red in French. Being in a red state, that was the word that came to mind. Also, some of the items in the background are maps of Indiana from the 200 bicentennial. So I wanted to incorporate some of that. I also kind of kept the palette monochromatic as far as reds and violets and colors that were in the same family. And as I mentioned before, some of the items already have color. So those are the things that I'm incorporating, having larger fields of colors based on the resource materials that I find. So this piece here is called, actually the pieces for the show don't have titles, they have number. This is number 2, but it's a response to the piece I just showed, Rouge, which is red. The large type that you'll see in the back, it says Unidad, which is unity in Spanish. The color fields that you see in the background, they're actually color reference pages from a colored book. And the way I used it was to show that there's strength in diversity and unity. So it's as I mentioned, a response to Rouge. And if you look real close through every little hole on those color chips, there are words and letters that come through. So some of those things can speak to how oftentimes things are hidden, but if you look close, you'll be able to see the messages that's being revealed.